Welcome to Travel Around Suzy. Hello, Troy. I seen you jump in here early, and I was just getting ready to text you when I realized, or make a comment when I realized it was time to go live. So I'm doing good, and I am actually sitting on a rest area bench, and I have all these trees behind me that have squirrels. And I don't know if y'all seen my post earlier, like as I was sitting up, I had one squirrel come down from that tree and actually come almost up to the table. I think until I moved, he realized that there was someone here. So, and there's nuts bashed up nuts all over this table. So I'm thinking this is where he likes to eat his nuts. But I'm doing good. We have been traveling, heading back to Michigan. And we're actually in Troy, Ohio. So we're very close to Michigan. About another 3 hours. Well, I think it's like 2.5 hours until we hit the border. So that is where we're at today. And a few things. So if I keep looking around, it's one, because we got squirrels back here and they keep making noises. Yep, I am almost back. Getting close. I don't think we'll go all the way to Michigan tonight. We'll see how we feel. Last night, we actually stopped in Kentucky because it was pouring buckets of rain. It was crazy, and we were coming through the mountains. So other than that, we've had a good travel back. But anyways, I'm looking around. Hopefully you can hear me okay, because there's a jaybreak. But lots of noise. So hopefully it's not too loud. If it is too loud, let me know. I was not able to pre-check. Okay, good. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate it. I can always count on you for telling me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I think you've been here to just about every one of my lives. So I appreciate you so much for being here. But yeah, we are, like I said, about 3 hours from, and we're going to have some people walking on the trails. There's a loop around me that goes for a doggy walk, and lots of people are making use of that. So, and this rest area is extremely busy. But anyways, y'all didn't come to hear that. I wanted to talk about, so while we were in Florida, there was, we actually got to see some areas that we normally don't get to see. And we actually stayed around Titusville, Florida. And it's a smaller little town, which is really nice. But Florida has been really cracking down on sleeping in your vehicle. And so we're a little bit leery about different areas. And because we had to be close to Daytona, which is super busy. I'm not a city person, and I have been in enough big cities lately. I'm done. Like, I'm ready to head to the country. But anyways, so we were staying over by Titus area, we were like about an hour south of Daytona. And we really couldn't find a place to stay. We needed for like 4 days. So we don't have really anybody that we know that we could like driveway mooch or, whatever we need to be. And with Florida starting to really crack down on their um, van dwellers. It's not so much that, it's more the homeless and the tent city people and and everything. Yep, let me show you. We got squirrels. Let me see if I can get them in there. Oh, I don't know if you can see him, but he's right there, sitting up there staring at me. But anyways, so we'll see if he gets closer. I think squirrels are pretty friendly. I know in Florida, they like to eat your French fries. But anyways, so we ended up, I have an app that I belong to, and this one costs you money. It's $50 a year, which is not terrible, but it's called Boondockers Welcome, and it's for RVers traveling, and if they need a night in between destinations, you can go on this app, and they have several, like wine, and I know in Michigan, a roller skating rink that when I used to go roller skating, the owner used to belong to this app, and you can actually like book a night. You can go and see if they have any spots, what size, and do like everything. Like when you're booking a hotel, they have reviews, they have everything about it. And I didn't know around Daytona very well, but I found Titusville, and there was one host there named Matt. And when I was like, it was the same day, I turned around and I was like, well, let me jump on this because I've never tried the app. I paid for it at the beginning of the year. And I thought, well, I'm just going to try it out because I like trying apps before I recommend them to anybody. And if I don't like them, or they go south, or they're just too odd, I don't mention them on this channel. But anyways, that's why I haven't mentioned this app. And plus, most of it is for RVers, but as long as you're self-contained, you should be good, which I am. So anyways, I jumped on this app and I said, well, let me just give this a try. So I got on, and it said last minute reserves are okay. So I just threw them a quick, told them, like, you have to put in your profile, who you are, how many adults you're traveling with, if you have pets, you don't have pets, and on Boondockers Welcoming, it says that he has one spot, and he charges for electricity, and I think it was like $20 a night, but I don't use have any shore power. I don't need anything from my van. So I just, it was free. And these hosts, they like to host them, like the wineries will do it and the businesses will do it. I know there's a place in Battle Creek it used to be called JB Whiskey's. They used to do it before they sold it. I don't know if the new business hosts that or not, but it's really cool because it's local people that you can go to. And like this guy, Mac, he had, I think, a couple different spots. And I forgot what size of rig. I want to say it was 45 was the biggest rig, which is a pretty decent size. Anyway, so I texted him. I'm like, sorry, I know it's late notice, but you said it was okay for last minute check-ins. If you have availability, we just need a spot. And I thought it was only going to be for one night. And then he contacted me within probably 25, 30 minutes maybe. He's like, yep, I have a spot. Well, he asked me what size my rig was, and I told him it was just a 1500 Chevy Express, 19 inches long, not big at all. He says, oh, I got a spot. Come on out. And so I did, and it was in the city, but you didn't feel like the city because he had lots of overgrown trees. But he keeps them trimmed so it's not damaging your vehicle or anything, or your camper or anything like that. And he was super flexible. He ended up telling us that we could stay an extra couple of nights because we found out that we needed to stay. I think we ended up staying for 4 nights. They're peaceful. You could not hear the highway, which I think we were maybe 5 minutes away from the highway. You couldn't hear the highway at all. It was really quiet, really level spot. Didn't bother us. We just pulled in, and I kind of feel bad because we didn't really get to talk to him too much because he was either working or we would just get up and go explore. We went to Cocoa Beach. We went to, we actually found this roadside park, which was right across, called the Indian River. And you could watch the satellites and the launches from NASA. So we got to watch Starlink put up one of their satellites, and I recorded that, so I'm hoping to get that video out soon. So that was really cool to watch the launch from, it was literally across the river. So we stayed in town and watched that. And there was a pier that you could walk out from. And if anybody is joining me, I know Troy has already said hi, but make sure that you jump in and say hi and welcome. We're kind of talking about the traveling. And I'm keeping my eye on these 2 squirrels over here. Well, I have 3 squirrels now. So I got 2 playing in a tree and 1 over here eating his nuts watching me. So I'm watching him. We'll see how it goes. We might have an invasion. But now that I'm talking, they probably won't come up here. So we'll see if I can turn the camera. Oh, maybe they're camera shy. They're freezing. You can see. Oh, there they go. Yep, they're going to go hide. There's the 2. And then I don't know if you can see the third one, but the third one is right there. He's sitting there eating his nuts. There they go. So they're relatively pretty close to me. I am surprised that they're this close. And if they're anything like the Florida ones, they'll probably be up here on the table if they had any food. But anyways, so it was really cool to sit at Titus. It was like a little park, roadside park. And it was like beavered. I don't know. I'll leave the name of it in the description because I'm not good at pronouncing all these different names. One of these days, maybe I'll go back to school and learn English. Maybe not. But anyway, so we had a really good time of watching that, and we actually went over to the NASA Center, the Space Center, or Kennedy Space Center, and I really wanted to take pictures and everything. I want to, let's see, Troy says he wants to go to the Kennedy. Pack a big, thick wallet. Very expensive. But here is a tip about that. Go online and get your tickets before going. And do it booking.com. You will save it was the ticket price for just general admission, and plan on spending all day there. It opens at 9 and closes at 5. And it is lots of walking, lots of VR, I think they call that, where you put your little helmet on and then you do all the gaming stuff. No, I'm not a gamer. But they do a lot of that 3D gaming stuff. And for just the 1 day ticket is $79. But if you go online to booking.com, and I'll put a link to the booking.com. If you go on there, the tickets were $55. So, and that was just for the general admission. You can pick different packages, but we only had the 1 day to go. So we just did the $55, but you can, I think, watch a launch, or I don't know, they have all these different packaging. And if you go in your van, it will be $15 to park, plus the $75 or $79 unless you do the booking.com, then that's $55. So we did that. I mean, it saved us tremendously. It was a really cool thing to go see and do. They did a lot of, like, I don't know, I started feeling like I was back in school because we'd go into like a kind of an auditorium, and then they would play a film and tell us the history of NASA. But there is a lot of exhibits to walk around and go see. So it was really cool. There's lots of cockpits. I think they're called cockpits of, like where the pilot sits, Troy, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you know this, but and it had like all the buttons and gadgets to, not gadgets, but buttons and switches. And you could lift it up or like pretend like you were flying it, and it had a video screen in front of you. And so you could, navigate the plane. Well, the shuttle, I guess it would be in there. But I know my daughter did something in the Battle Creek aviation thing, and it was doing the same thing. Simulators. Yeah, but I mean, it was a simulator, but I mean, it looked exactly like the front of a airplane or shuttle, I guess. So it was really cool to see all the different ones, and they had different buttons you could play with, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. It is a really kid friendly. It has a lot of kid stuff. So, I think we went off season because, school is still in session. So there wasn't a lot of kids there. But I could imagine when school's off, it being packed full of kids. They had slides and places you could crawl around into it. And then they have where they simulate, you go in and you actually sit down, and then they kind of thrust you into orbit, into the space, and they tilt the machine up, and then it vibrates everywhere. That one didn't have one of them VR helmets on, but it was really cool. If you're really, really into all that, I would suggest doing the 2-day. I think that would have been probably a little bit cheaper. And then also too, they had a bus tour where you could sit in these tour buses and go travel around. I did not get any filming because hooey on NASA, but you have to ask for a permit 10 days in advance, and you have to give them the angle of your video and like all this filming requirements, even for a little YouTube channel like me. So I did not, because I didn't even know until the day before we were going. So we were not able to film anything. So I'm kind of bummed about that. But I understand a lot of people would probably, use that in the wrong way, and they want to protect that kind of stuff. So I get that, but they're making so much money off you when you go there. The food is outrageous there. I mean, it is a tourist trap for sure. It's cool and it's educational, but yeah. And then I have another video that is coming out of another museum that we got to see. So I'm looking forward to getting that one edited. And that one was on Michigan Street in Titusville. And it had a little bit about the space, but it was a lot about the city itself and about how they found and Lost the word. uh, it's gone. Anyways, they had dug up some land and they ended up finding some remains of humans, and they think that the human remains were like from, I want to say he said like 1,000 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have it committed to memory, but it will be in the video. So when that comes out, make sure that you check that video out. There was a lot of information about, like the old, it had like the old typewriters. It had like a storefront set up like in the old days where you go and there was the hardware store and you could buy your bread and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. And there was a butterfly garden and trails to hike. So of course, you know me, gotta go hike, gotta do the little paths and walking. So, and again, that was on Indian River. So that was really cool. And that was in Titus. So we got to see that. So every day that we slept at Mac, M-A-C, his place, we would just get up and go and travel around. I will leave his name and his phone number in case anybody is down in Florida around the Daytona or Titus area. Cocoa Beach was around there. Orlando would have been, I think, an hour in-state, west. Yeah, I had to think of which shoreline I was on. So yeah, it was really cool to meet him, and he's a wine ambassador. So if you actually connect with him, he would love to talk about some wine with you. I'm not a wine drinker, so that wasn't my cup of tea. But he was super nice, very easy, flexible, asked if we needed water, asked us if we needed to, hook up for the electric, asked us if we needed anything. His daughter came out and was talking to us. His daughter's older, has some kids that are running around there. So it was super nice. So if you're ever down and around the area and you need a night to, a spot to park for the night, he is very open to that. And I will, like I said, I'll leave his name. And if you get onto the Boondockers Welcoming, it would, he's on that app too. I like wine that comes in a box, the cheap stuff. Yeah, I did. I told him I was not a wine drinker, so that conversation really never happened with us. I'm assuming he's like the bottles, if I'm gonna drink, it's give me the liquor. It's the hard stuff. One and done. I don't need all this other stuff. So I don't do the wine. I've never been a wine drinker. I have a friend that thinks there's a wine for everybody. Nah, not for me. She tried very hard. We found one that was okay. I could sip a couple drinks, but nothing that I would, no. So anyways, so that's kind of where we're at tonight. We're, like I said, in Troy, Ohio. It's kind of funny. We were passing the sign as we come into the rest area. And after this, we'll be getting back on the road and heading out. And then going from there. Speaking of wine, Troy, have you ever tried the Oldies wine? They're pretty cheap. I know Ken likes a lot of the uh, Aldi's wines. So one of his favorites is this chocolate wine. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. But anyways, um, I don't. Nobody else is jumping on, but don't be shy if you're lurking around. Say hi. And oh, never been to an Aldi's. It's a cheap place to buy groceries. You should try it. They have really good produce, though. I really like a lot of their produce. It's really on the cheaper side, and it's good. A lot of people like their meats too. I'm not a big meat eater, so but they were clear. They were doing flank 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 steaks, and I was getting that for a while, but nope. I shop at Aldi's a lot for their vegetables. Um, yeah, vegetables. And then they've got some really good chocolates, which it's kind of a yeah, got to do that. We have one here. I like Kroger's. I need to check that out. Yeah, you should. It's actually cheaper than Kroger's. But the one thing about Aldi's is you either have to put a quarter in their shopping cart or bring your own bags. They do, or you can buy their bags, but they have like big bags. So, it is what it is. But their prices are pretty cheap. Like, I don't know, for like an example, the 3 bell peppers, that's like red and yellow and orange, I think they are. Yeah, the 3 different ones, the ones I like. You can get them for, I think it's like 2 something, where at Walmart and Myers, they're like almost $5. I've been telling him 4 years about it. Hi, Tina. How are you? Thanks for joining me. And if anybody is watching this that doesn't know, Tina she has a channel, and she does van life in a minivan. And her YouTube channel, I will link in the description below. But it's Tina the Outsider, as it shows here, but on YouTube. So go check her channel out. And how have you been doing, Tina? I see you just posted another video up. I just seen it as I was setting up my live, but something about a bookstore. John, the biggest bookstore or something? I don't know. I briefly seen it as I was setting up my live, so I did not get to watch it yet. And so I look forward to watching your video. I missed the one you posted yesterday. I've been busy editing videos because I have a boatload of content that I'm trying to get read and out onto my channel, and editing is really slow. Let's see. Yeah, Michigan's largest used bookstore. If I read more, I would probably really like that story. But I have a book on my shelf in my van that I've been trying to get to read, but I'm watching YouTube videos on how to make my YouTube channel better. And I think I'm going to start focusing on finding YouTube channels to help me with my thumbnails, because I know that I'm not very good at that and I need to get better at the thumbnails. So most of the time, that's what I'm watching YouTube about if I'm not editing or traveling. Got to have my fun, right? But we're down to one squirrel now. He's over here still. I Kindle Fire for my majority of my books. Yeah, I thought about that, but I don't have one yet. And I hope that I'm not going to get rained on. I don't know. It might have just felt a sprinkle. Uh-oh. It wasn't supposed to rain at all today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be raining here, and I'm not going to be here, but we'll see. Thank you. Yes, I am so thankful for the 400. I am super stoked for that. Now I just got to figure out how to get the 400 subscribers to watch my content, because 80% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribers. So I don't know yet. I don't know. I got to figure that out. So I don't understand, if you're watching my content, why are you not subscribing to my channel? And if you have subscribed to my channel, why are you not watching my videos? I know, Troy, you do, and Tina, I know you do, because y'all leave me comments, which I greatly appreciate that. But for all you that are watching me on the replay, leave a comment below. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate it. I get really stoked. It's like this high I get. I don't know. Tina. No, I am in Troy, Ohio. I'm in the same boat, and it's leaking. You're in the same boat and it's leaking. All right, Tina. Did I miss something? I don't know. Where are you? I'm in no, I'm not in Florida. I already said I'm in Troy, Ohio. I'm in the same boat and it's leaking. Oh, are you talking about the subscriber count? And okay. Yeah, I'm gaining subscribers, but I am, for some reason, I know why. I'm losing watch hours. So, and I understand why, because my Dollar Tree video spiked around now, and it's coming off that spike because that's an older video. So I get it, but I'm just going to keep making content. But my thing is I don't understand if I have 83% of my audience is watching my channel, and if they're not subscribed. It's free. It doesn't charge them anything. It does nothing other than send them notifications when I upload a video. So if you're watching my content and you're not subscribed, I appreciate it if you would. Like I said, it does not cost you anything. I don't come and spam you. I don't email you a bunch of stuff. I have no access to your emails or any of your stuff. It's just YouTube's way of saying, hey, yep, somebody likes Suzy, or somebody's watching Suzy's channel. So, go subscribe to Tina's. I know that we're all in this together. Tina's I haven't personally met Tina, but I've talked to her on the phone several times. Squirrel's still staying in the same spot, so we're good. Come on, computer. All right, talk to you later, Tina. And the clouds are getting a little dark here, so we will see if I'm going to get drenched here. Have fun, Tina. Be safe on the roads. Gonna go up north soon. Yes. My dad's, well, I don't know if you're talking about all of us going up north or not, but if you're talking about that, yeah, my dad's got that surgery Monday. Fingers crossed everything goes good on that. And then I'll kind of know where I'm at for June. So we'll see on all that. But I'm looking forward to that. I need some downtime. I need to get away from the city. I'm not a city person. And all this traffic in Florida. Oh my gosh. We went through Atlanta, Georgia. Thank God we did it later at night. I think it was like 7 o'clock at night. So it was not that bad. But then we've come back up through South and North Carolina. And traffic has been on and off. We've been through Cincinnati, which is not terrible, but Knoxville, I don't know. Detroit traffic is too much for me. I mean, I can do it. I can do Chicago. I can do the traffic. Do I like to? No. Get me out on a country road, I'm good. 2-lane highway, I'm good. But that's just me. I know some people. I have a friend. He's in his 70s. He drives a minivan, and he turns it into like a little race car, and he just zooms through Chicago like it's no big deal. And I'm like, whatever, and just get me out of it. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of the update on where we're at. So next Thursday, as long as my dad is doing well, I will be doing a live in Michigan. Will be, hopefully I definitely will be back in Michigan. But as far as I plan on to it, I'm doing another live next Thursday at 6 p.m. And hopefully by then I'll have a couple more videos out. I've got one almost ready. So I'm trying to push them out as fast as I can. And hopefully I'll be working on these thumbnails and getting them a little bit better, because I noticed my click-through rate is not as good as I'd like it to be. So, I'm just being honest here. And I'm going to try to start filming a little bit more of just normal stuff. So if you are watching this on the replay and you have any questions about Vanlife, definitely leave them in the comments of what you would like to see. I have a couple more things that I want to try out, and I'm debating on testing them live. So we'll see how that goes. Uh-oh. I definitely felt that raindrop. So I don't know if I'm going to get dumped on. I should probably cut this live short because I really don't want my computer getting dumped on. And I'm definitely out here in the, oh shoot, good old bees. Anyways, I'm going to cut this live short because it is starting to rain and I do not want my Blue Eddy or my computer getting wet. And I'm going to beeline it back to the van and get back on the road. So thank you, Tina. Thank you, Troy, for joining me. And anybody that's watching on the replay, make sure you leave a comment below and join me next Thursday for 6 o'clock live. Look forward to seeing y'all. Safe travels. Bye, Troy.